medicine and money, hospital emergency rooms are seeing fewer critical cases aside from coronavirus. Dr. Mitchell Elkind, president of the American Heart Association, is on call for us today. And doctor, COVID cases are rising, but what's the trend in 911 calls and ER visits for other symptoms?
What we're seeing at the American Heart Association is very concerning. It's an alarming trend such that people are calling 911 less and not going to the emergency room when they have serious problems. In fact, in an online poll that was conducted by the Harris poll for the American Heart Association, we found that just over 1 in 4 people, just over 25%, say that if they were experiencing a stroke or a heart attack, that they would rather stay home than go to the hospital and potentially get COVID-19. And this is obviously very concerning. Many people get their care through emergency rooms if they don't have access to primary care. And that's particularly true in some of our underserved and under-resourced populations. So it may be in part due to the fact that people are afraid of catching the virus, certainly, but also I think people are afraid of overwhelming our healthcare system. They see the doctors and nurses so busy in the hospitals and they don't want to contribute to that. And we know, though, that the hospital is where you go when you have a critical medical problem.
I will ask the question many people want to know: is it safe to go to the hospital during this pandemic?
It is. So the hospital is still the safest place to be when you're having a serious medical problem, even during the pandemic. You know, we've learned a lot about the pandemic and the virus since this all started. We've learned about social distancing and wearing a mask and the importance of sanitizing areas. And most hospitals now are separating people who have COVID from those who don't. And they have separate areas of the emergency room and the operating rooms to treat people with and without COVID. So we are in a much better place now. And that's why the American Heart Association is launching this campaign called Don't Die of Doubt, which is really designed to reassure people and alleviate their fears about going to the hospital. We're talking about serious medical problems like heart attacks and strokes that can kill people or leave them disabled. And every second counts. And that's why people should still call 911, be in an ambulance, get to the hospital that way. That is the best way to survive a heart attack or a stroke.
It's always good to get a reminder. What are the signs of a heart attack or a stroke?
Absolutely. That's a terrific question. So most people are familiar with chest pain as being a symptom of a heart attack, but it's important to know that the pain can actually be in other parts of the upper body as well. It could be in the neck, it could be in the jaw, it could even be in the arm or in the back. In addition to chest pain, people may have shortness of breath or nausea or breakout in the sweat or feel lightheaded and dizzy. So those would be signs of a potential heart attack. And for a stroke, there are lots of symptoms of stroke, but we have an acronym we like to use called FAST, F-A-S-T, easy to remember. Face drooping, arm weakness, speech difficulty, then it's time to call 911 and get right to the hospital for help.
How financially challenged are hospitals at this time?
Well, the coronavirus pandemic has been a challenge financially, not only to the broader economy, which of course it is, but also to our hospital systems. We know that elective surgeries, for example, and other procedures were decreased dramatically in the setting of the lockdowns and the anticipation of the virus hitting. And fortunately, in some areas that were initially very hard hit, that starting to pick up again. So hospitals took a hit just like everybody else, but hopefully, they will begin to rebound and will be able to restore some of that healthcare as well. The website for this campaign is heart.org/Don't Die of Doubt, and we hope that your viewers will visit it.
Well, thank you, doctor, for all of your information.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
For more Business First AM, check us out on social media. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And go to businessfirstam.com for where to see our show on TV.